Hey everybody, it's Justin.
And this is Shelby.
And today is a very big day for my 2017 Subaru BRZ. Got a whole gaggle of parts to install on the car. We're going to give you an overview of what we've got, get it up on jack stands, and then get started. Alright, so we'll give you a quick overview of the parts that we have here. Starting from the front of the car, we have a Grimspeed intake that will replace the stock intake, a RevWorks unequal length header, a Perrin overpipe. For the front pipe, we've got a Burke pipe with a high flow cat, and then the exhaust system that we have is pretty much a stock system, just modified to be lightweight with a resonator towards the front and a lightweight muffler towards the rear. So I think what I'm going to do first is pop the stock intake off, get that lightweight crank pulley installed real quick, then get underneath the car, start taking off all the splash guards, the stock exhaust parts, and then start putting the exhaust pieces on from the front to back. When I'm done, come back around to the intake and get the intake box put back on. So the airbox is out. I'm going to go ahead and get a breaker bar on the crank pulley there. Get that sucker pulled off. Actually, the first thing we're going to do is loosen up the tensioner and take the belt off itself. Change out the pulley real quick and then we'll move on. Alright, so the crank pulley is being a serious pain in my ass, so I'm going to put that one off for another day and get started on the underside of the engine, getting the rest of the bolt-ons put on. We'll start by getting that header off down there and get this thing going. Alright, we got the splash guards and the shrouds off of the top of the car here. Expose the overpipe headers and all that stuff. We're going to remove the overpipe bolts up in here. There's 3 bolts on each side of the header that we'll have to get up in there. Let's see if I can get a shot of them here. Lighting is not the greatest, but right up in this area. So we'll drop that guy out. We've got to take a bolt out on the underneath of the frame here to get the engine raised just a tad to get the overpipe out. But other than that, the stuff pops right out. We'll get it out here in a few minutes and take another look. Alright, so we have the stock header out of the car, the stock overpipe, and the stock front pipe. And damn do I need a lift. I'm getting too old to roll around on my back under cars, but enough complaining. Here's what it looks like on the underside with everything taken apart. I've got the engine slightly jacked up per the Perrin overpipe installation instructions. Got the hole up there. hole where the header used to be. So I'm gonna grab my Perrin overpipe and the RevWorks header here, get those installed in the car, and then we'll work on the front pipe and the rest of the exhaust. Header and overpipe are in place. Take a quick look from the top side and see if I can get you a decent view of the underside. So nothing is bolted up firmly in place yet. I'll wait till I get the rest of the exhaust parts installed, but I wanted to show you guys a couple of little knick-knack upgrades I'm gonna do while I'm under the car. I've got upgraded steering rack bushings. These are Delrin bushings. Same metal as the stock ones, just instead of rubber surrounds, they've got the Delrin kind of plastic surround, a little bit better steering feedback. And then also the positive shift kit bushing, which goes on the transmission mount underneath the car. So I'm gonna slap this thing on real quick as well, and then get the rest of the exhaust stuff bolted up and installed. All right, so things are moving along. I've got the steering rack bushings in place, the positive shift kit bushing insert in place, but I just realized I forgot to put the stupid O2 sensors into the RevWorks header. As you can see, the O2 sensors are still sitting in the stock header, so I gotta take the RevWorks header back off the car, put the O2 sensors in it, and then put the header back on the car. There we go, O2 sensors are swapped over now from the stock header to the RevWorks header. One little quick tip when you're doing these, I would highly recommend getting a O2 sensor socket like this where it's got the cutout on one portion of it. It makes getting the O2 sensors off and on a whole lot easier. So now that I got that snafu figured out, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the header back in the car and get the rest of the stock exhaust off and then put everything back together. Now we got the gigantic lug of a stock muffler taken out of the car along with the mid pipe. This thing is massive. Be thrown in the much smaller, much lighter single canister and just the rest of the stock exhaust components. Go ahead and check out the underside. So all kinds of room up there. We'll go ahead and start getting things back in place. And it shouldn't be too much longer here. Alright, everything is finally bolted up underneath the car. I'm running out of lights. I wanted to give you guys kind of an overview of what things look like. Hopefully it comes out okay. I still have to get under there and torque everything down, but everything is bolted up. So up there we've got the overpipe connection to the high flow cat. High flow cat connection to the mid pipe, and this custom exhaust has the resonator V-banded to the pipe near the rear. Go back and check out the muffler section here. So muffler section much smaller. It's a single exit. So now I actually have a tailpipe that sticks out appropriately. So that's a nice little upgrade. Alright, so one more thing to do after getting the exhaust all bolted in and torqued down. We'll get back to the Grimspeed intake for the front of the car. Once we get that done, we should be pretty much complete. I got to reflash the car with a new ECU Tech bass tune that I've got, and then we should be able to drive this thing. Alright everybody, so finally I got the last part installed, the Grimspeed cold air intake. I think that just about wraps it up for the work today. Spent about most of the afternoon and the evening getting all the stuff installed on the car. So just a quick recap of what we did today. We got that cold air intake that I just talked about. The steering rack bushings down below, I got those installed. The positive shift kit bushing, and of course the big parts, the RevWorks unequal length header, the Perrin overpipe, the Burke front pipe with high flow cat, and of course the custom exhaust throughout the back of the car and the single exit muffler. And again, I did have trouble with that Perrin lightweight crank pulley, couldn't get that sucker off, not sure why. It was real easy on my FRS when I did it a year or so ago. For some reason this car, it didn't want to budge, so we'll get after it again some other time. Next up, I'll be working on getting the ECU reflashed with the ECU Tech programmer. I've been talking a lot about OpenFlash lately, but I actually just upgraded to the ECU Tech platform. Gives you a whole lot more features and capabilities for tuning the car. Once the car is all tuned and flashed and running well, I'll get it back up here for an exhaust sound and revving feature to kind of compare to the stock sounds that I had put up before. So we'll wrap it up today. That's gonna do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun doing it. I always love working on these cars. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below. I would appreciate it if you shared and liked the video as well. It really helps me out. Thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you all next time.